Joining me on the line as he does every Friday, he is from Cinemablend.com. You can find him on social media at Mr. Controversy83. That's probably the cleanest intro I've ever given him. Mike Reyes is on the line. Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Nothing other than just that smooth intro. That's very nice. You should be on radio.
You know what I want, though? I always think my voice is too high-pitched. Like, I want the lower-end voice, but I can't fake it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? There are people in radio that will fake the voice and be like, hey, 95 KGGO classic rock, do that kind of thing. And I've just never been able to do that and sound convincing.
Yeah, it's the Troy McClure voice. It's like people, you can't fake it. If you can do the Troy McClure voice, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't. Like, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from such radio shows as B-sox in the morning on KGGO.
One of the funny things about, I knew a guy in radio that he would always talk about how low his voice was. It was not low. It was legit higher than mine. And it was always like, okay, dude, whatever you say. But anyways, we're here to talk about movies this week as we dive into it. M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah. M. Night Shyamalan has a new movie out called Old. It's going to blow your mind, right?
I will say this much. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, it's not a grand slam by any means. There's a little bit of clunkiness in the beginning.
Okay.
I'm going to give it that. There's a little bit of clunkiness. Like, there's some things that are just thrown in there, and it's like, what is this really doing? And it does serve a purpose, but it's not organically built in. Okay. But, the basic premise of it is there's a family on vacation. The parents are played by Vicky Krieps and Gael Garcia Bernal. This family is at this idyllic tropical getaway. She just found this place on the internet, and beautiful private beach that they're given an invitation to. And before long, things start going to hell.
Everybody starts aging.
Yeah, everybody starts aging to a very fast clip.
Okay, so that's kind of the thing. Like, M. Night Shyamalan, like, there's always the aha moment, or I called it a hook earlier. I don't know what the best terminology for it, but it's always that gotcha moment in his movies, right?
Well, it's always the concept, and then there's always a twist.
The twist, that's the word I was looking for. Yeah,
there's a whole robot chicken bit where they just unfairly riff on him for the twist. I mean, I think part of what happened with M. Night Shyamalan's career is the marketing got in the way of some of his movies. Because you go back and watch The Village, that movie is marketed in such a way that you're expecting one movie and you don't get it, but that's not his fault. And Old is marketed pretty well. Old is basically down the line, what you see is what you get, but it really is a fun movie to sort of wrap your head around.
Okay.
And it may not have laid out all of the clues in the best way possible, but I think that when it gets going, it just flies. And this thing butts up against the edge of a PG-13 rating in some pretty exciting ways. And there's some horrific stuff in here.
Okay. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me to talk about Old right now. The thing about his movies that I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Do you remember, you watch The Simpsons a lot, right?
I used to.
There was a joke about, and it was for Stephen King, but I always think about it with M. Night Shyamalan, where Stephen King's trying to type out. He's like, I need a new idea. A typewriter that comes to life and kills a guy by crushing his head. Yeah, I like that. And he writes the story real quick. That's kind of always my thought about M. Night Shyamalan, where he starts out, he's got some really kind of cool ideas, but then it's kind of I don't know what to do with it. Should we have him be on a beach and get really? Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it like that. There's a good base to it, but it never seems like it gets executed right.
I have to say, I really liked where this went. And as far as the ending is concerned, I did find it very interesting where he took things. Okay. I liked it. Okay. I think it's fun. It's just summer fun. He's working on a beach instead of he normally makes movies in Philadelphia or the surrounding area. But this is his first destination movie, and I'm kind of interested to see him maybe do that again because he gets to experiment with his usual claustrophobia on a beach, which you wouldn't really think of as a claustrophobic area.
Yeah.
He makes it that one. It's a lot of fun.
You know what I think it would have been for him? Because some of the early stuff, like Sixth Sense, I liked. What was the other Bruce Willis one?
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable. I like that. I like
I love
Signs.
Unbreakable.
The thing about it, though, I always wondered if he went away from the twist thing for a while because it kind of seemed like that's what you were going to one of his movies for. It was like, oh, well, we're just here to see what the twist is.
Yeah.
Like if he would have just gone out and made, some other movies where it's like, there's not that twist. There's like, I don't want to say tells a straightforward story, but he tells a straightforward story,
Yeah.
So I don't know. So Old, do you recommend it? Is it okay? Is it good enough to go see it in the theater?
I would think so. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
It's definitely a lot of fun. I would say go see it in the theater. But then again, I'm just really excited to be back in a theater. So.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. I just want to be in the theater.
Even with that, I don't know how much I'd recommend seeing something like Black Widow in the theater.
Yeah.
And that's just more along the lines of, I feel like the lines between Disney Plus and Marvel's movies are being blurred so well that it doesn't feel unique enough anymore.
Yeah. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me. All right, so that's Old. Moving on down the way, Snake Eyes, you saw it last night. This is another attempt to do the whole G.I. Joe thing. Just to put my thought out there, I've thought all of the G.I. Joe movies so far have been complete failures, other than the original, like animated one from the 80s where they decided not to kill Duke because they saw how bad it was with Optimus Prime getting killed. We can't do that. I don't know why.
I think you're a G.I. Joe fan.
No, you know what? I just remember that story because I remember going to the theater and seeing Optimus Prime die, and I was heartbroken as a little kid. I mean, heartbroken, man. And I was not prepared for that day. And then I read an article at some point where and I don't even know if it's true, but they said that they were going to kill Duke in the same way and kind of pass it along to the new ones, but they saw the reaction from Optimus Prime, and they were like, we can't do that. So
I would not be surprised, especially in that era of like animated toy tie-ins.
Yeah, so
you can't upset the kids too much because then they won't buy the toy. You're going to have some kid in like the middle of a Toys R Us looking at an Optimus Prime and like stabbing their eyes out.
Yeah, where it's like... Now I'm supposed to accept Rodimus Prime as my commander-in-chief, and I just don't dig that. And Ultra Magnus was a bitch. I mean, let's get that out of the way right now. But anyways, this is about Snake Eyes. You know what? I was thinking about this on the way to work, and you know what? Snake Eyes kind of falls under the thing of, I don't need to see his backstory. The mystery about it is cooler than anything you'll ever be able to put out on screen. Am I correct in this is what the movie's going to be like?
They don't go too deep into his personal origin, but like you're obviously seeing how he learns the skills and everything.
Yeah.
And you've got Henry Golding playing Snake Eyes, which Henry Golding's a fantastic actor. I really do enjoy him, and he has the physicality for Snake Eyes, obviously.
Yeah.
But
that good, huh?
Okay.
It's okay.
You know what the thing is? You've got a great cast in here. You've got Andrew Koji. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Ursula Cobero, Samara Weaving. Like, you've got this really cool cast of people. You hired martial artists to be in this movie and train people to do sick action moves. The editing for this movie completely that.
Wow, we're not holding anything back on that one.
I am using my bleep privilege on that because honestly, when you hire martial artists to do martial art, one would think you keep the camera and like maybe you pan around everything or you minimize the amount of cuts that you're doing during these fights. But no, this is like shaky cam Bourne movie without focus sort of editing.
All right.
And it's really sad because I was expecting something greater. I mean, Snake Eyes, it looked like it had so much promise. And plus the whole G.I. Joe thing is kind of an afterthought anyway. Like if you just did a Snake Eyes movie and then maybe at the end you tease G.I. Joe and Cobra, fine.
Okay.
But the way that this movie puts a little more emphasis on G.I. Joe and Cobra during the film, and it's like, okay, if you're going to do that, build it in properly.
Okay.
But I think some people enjoy it for what it is. It's
yeah.
I'm just really upset that they didn't give more time or effort into this, and they should have given it to a martial arts director because this movie is directed by Robert Schwenke. I think is how you pronounce his last name. He's a German director, Robert Schwenke. And he directed R.I.P.D. And R.I.P.D. is...
wow.
That's one of the most infamously bad movies I've seen. I mean, he did Red, and Red is good. You know, the Bruce Willis retired movie.
Yeah.
But R.I.P.D. is still a hard a hard fall to come back from. And
I get it. I get it.
Just give a martial arts movie to a martial arts director. Done. Sold.
All right, I can handle that. It goes back to, like I was saying at the beginning, though. It's like, I don't know, like the mystery of Snake Eyes, like never talking and being a ninja and never seeing his face. That's more interesting to me not knowing than you trying to make up a backstory for it. It's kind of like the Joker movie, where it's like, I don't really want to know the origin of the Joker. The mystery is kind of the fun of it, you know?
True, but at the same time, I really did like watching Henry Golding and Andrew Koji sort of basically be buddies through this whole movie. And there's there is kind of a cool story behind why Snake Eyes is who he is and how he falls into, you know, the Joes as well as everything else.
Yeah.
But it's just not, I think it's undercut to a severe degree. And I still haven't seen G.I. Joe Retaliation, so I don't know. I can't really say anything about that. But at the very least, this was better than from what I remember Rise of Cobra being.
Rise of Cobra is the one where they had like the mech suits, right?
Yeah, those really cool suits. I love those.
That were never in G.I. Joe at all, which that was always the problem. Like, why is this in there? This was an idea from some other action movie that you're like, hey, let's just drop it in G.I. Joe.
See, I'm not as beholden to the whole G.I. Joe mythos as you, so I was kind of fine with this, but I can see, you know, as people that I could see how people that are fans of the toys and fans of the property are, you know, a bit miffed.
You made Cobra Commander not look like Cobra Commander at all.
Okay, but Joseph Gordon-Levitt was a cool Cobra Commander, though.
He was, but put him in the right mask. If he would have been in the right mask, everybody would have forgiven it. They absolutely would have.
I really liked Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Cobra Commando and Christopher Eccleston as Destro.
Yeah.
And there's one more person I'm thinking of. Arnold Vosloo was in there. Who did he play? Zartan. Arnold Vosloo as Zartan was so cool.
On that note, Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line as we move over to the world of movie news. Excuse me, my brain. I had such a smooth opening and then it just falls apart there. Mike Reyes, what do we got for movie news this week?
It's like Rise of Skywalker here.
Hey, I did see a thing, and I don't know if it's true or not, but that they may be trying to push the whole newest trilogy, kind of like it never happened. Is there any truth to that?
No. That is just the internet wanting something to happen and thinking that they can bully the world into doing it. That is not happening.
I don't know, man. The way the internet,
pretty unreputable sources have latched onto that.
The way the internet works, I mean, they did get the Snyder cut, so I wouldn't put it past them. If they put their mind to saying,
yeah, but the Snyder cut is a different thing. That existed. That was an edit of a film that was there and wasn't allowed to be finished. It's not throwing out a whole trilogy of films that still made like $1 billion a piece.
I found a button to push this week. Nice.
Yeah, disreputable sources really grind my gears.
I was asking. That's why I brought it up. I was asking.
You know what happens when you ask.
I was asking the expert if it was true. Mike.
Yes, and the expert is telling you that those people are not right.
I wish they were. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me. All right. What is one of the stories this week? What's the big one, you think?
Jordan Peele just dropped he recently dropped the
yesterday
name for his next film. Yeah, with a poster that I am still kind of in awe of this thing.
What's the name of it?
The movie is called Nope. It's literally called Nope.
Okay. What am I looking at here?
What you're looking at is a dark storm cloud floating towards a city or towards a town
with one of the rope flag things with the triangle flags hanging off the ass of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. So we don't know anything about this, do we? We just know it's a cloud with a tail flying towards the city.
And it has a pretty good cast. Daniel Kaluuya from Get Out is coming in here. You've got Keke Palmer, Jesse Plemons, Stephen Yeun from The Walking Dead.
What he did that clone movie or something recently, right?
Doppelgangers. Yeah. Us. There's Us, and then there was Get Out. which is I love. I love both of them. I like Get Out.
Us
better,
is the one I was
really
thinking about.
those movies. Yeah,
This guy's like going to be the new name in horror movies, isn't he?
he already is.
Well, I mean, when it's all said and done, when he's got like 15 horror movies, they're going to be like, hey, let's do a Jordan Peele movie marathon, right?
I would honestly love that. Obviously, I wouldn't. Jordan Peele is just so singular that he really. I don't want him to start cranking things out for the sake of cranking them out.
Okay.
Legitimately, this is his first film since 2019 because that's when Us came out.
Yeah.
And it's taken a little while. He's developed a cast. The world kind of underwent some unprecedented circumstances, and I wouldn't want him to rush anything with this.
Interesting. We really don't know anything about it. I'll see if I can put a picture of this or a link to the picture on the site here.
But cloud.
Yeah, it's weird. It's ominous. It's what's going to happen in this town. What are you going to do to that town, Cloud? What are you going to do to it? Oh, is it a sperm?
I'm going to create problems for no reason.
Is that what that cloud is? Is it a big sperm?
No.
You sure? How do you know?
Well, how do you know?
I'm just guessing if I'm going to say what I think it looks like.
It's just a little black rain cloud hovering over the honey tree.
With a
it's only
tail
a little
on it.
black rain cloud. Pay no attention to it.
It's going to be fine, everybody. It's going to be fine.
It's Pooh Bear, okay? It's secretly Pooh Bear.
Oh, that'd be funny. Pooh Bear comes alive, kills everybody. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line. The other trailer we got this week, John Cena not only doing Suicide Squad. That comes out later this summer, right?
The Suicide Squad is a couple weeks from now, yeah.
Yeah. Hulu dropped a trailer for Vacation Friends, which I had up on the website earlier this week. And as I warned everybody on the air the other day, this is a very, very R-rated trailer, so be careful where you listen to it. I think it looks hysterical. I think it looks great.
John Cena on cocaine, folks. If you need anything else other than that, then frankly, I do not know what you are doing with your time, and you should seek religion.
Him shooting the bottle off the guy's head. Oh, you actually hit it this time. What?
Yeah.
This is the devil's the most powerful.
Yeah,
I ate it. What? Why'd you eat it? You told me to. I didn't. Everything you touch turns to drugs.
Honestly, I'm just really glad to see John Cena doing his thing again. And then also you've got Lil Rel Howery and Yvonne Orji from Insecure.
Yeah.
And then Lil Rel Howery's from Get Out. But that's kind of funny because Lil Rel Howery was in Get Out.
Yeah.
Like that was the first movie everybody saw him in.
You know what I like about John Cena? He hasn't been pegged as a certain sort of actor. Like he's been able to do action. He can do comedy like nobody's business. Like he's a better actor than people give him credit for, right?
I certainly think so. I actually got to meet him because he did this movie called Playing with Fire.
Okay.
And it looked
I remember that.
It looked like a movie that like really wasn't going to really do much besides, family friendly movie, a whole bunch of poop jokes and this, that, and the other thing. It was seriously a lot of fun to watch.
But again, like Playing with Fire, like every like muscle bound guy does a movie like this at some point. Bautista did the one with the kid. Hulk Hogan did Mr. Nanny. What was it called?
The Rock's done a ton of them.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like they do that, but the game plan. What was the Suburban Commando? That's
Tooth
what it
Fairy.
was.
Oh,
Tooth Fairy.
I was chosen today.
But no, I see him in stuff, and he's always enjoyable. Like I don't look at it and be like, oh, they just put a wrestler into a movie. Like I see him as like, okay, he really is that character.
It's not like it's not like he's cashing in. I get it. Like he's going to do so many movies a year. It's like people like him and The Rock and even Dave Bautista. Like I like seeing them in things because they actually not only they can act, but they're just people that I like. I kind of like the cut of their jib.
Yeah.
Like, even just looking at them in interviews, watching their presence in social media, they're guys that I would want to hang out with.
All right, we'll end it there. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joins me every Friday on the show to talk about movies. You can find out more about him at Cinemablend's website. We'll have links at the bottom of the page. Plus, he's on social media at Mr. Controversy 83. Mike, you have a swell weekend. A swell weekend.
You too, and go watch that Jackass Forever trailer we should have talked about.
I've never seen any of the Jackass movies.
I'm gonna end it right there.